What is up, guys? Welcome to the third live episode of the Rantcast, and this is a little bit of a special day. Brandon, you want to tell them why?
Well, guys, this is the, I guess, close to 1 year anniversary of the whole series. Our first episode was July 5th or July 6th or something like that? Or
well, what happened was we recorded it on July 5th. This is actually still the same can of Monster from that day, but the episode didn't actually go out until the day after. So, guys, we're going to just go ahead and get started with this. The first episode that we did was actually on WWDC 2017, back when that was, the year it was, because it's 2018 now. And, you know what?
And our last episode was WWDC.
It's going to take a little bit of getting used to doing this live, because we haven't done it very much, but, man. All right, here we go. So... Here it is right here, guys. Our first episode. We didn't even have the little Rantcast thing above us right there. You see that? It's just blank. And you see right here, it did go live on July 6th, 2017. And this is actually the only episode that we did that has timestamps for topics. I kind of just got a little bit too lazy to keep doing that because it took a long time to actually find the points in the video where we would be talking about the stuff, but it's there in this episode, but none of the other ones. Honestly, out of the whole show, I think my favorite episode has been the Callahan episode, because we talked...
that was so fun.
I'm still planning to go up there eventually, but Callahan episode, you know, it was fun. We poked a little bit of fun at Callahan, but in all reality, it's not like it wouldn't be a bad place to go to.
Like, I would like Sam and I have actually been kind of talking about this for a while now. Like, if I ever go down to Colorado, the plan is we're going to go down to Callahan and actually do some kind of video there, because I mean, it just has to be done. It's just it was definitely like one of my favorite episodes to shoot. I think I had internet problems that time too, if I remember correctly. I think like midway through the episode, something happened with my internet, as always.
Your internet cut out, and then I had to call you on.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't even FaceTime. It was a phone call.
Yeah.
Which
that's
didn't
when,
even
that's when things are getting desperate, when we got to use a phone call because the internet sucked that bad.
Can't even use FaceTime audio for it. You have to use an old-fashioned phone call, you know? Like those things are kind of out. FaceTime audio is where it's at, but now we had to do an actual phone call.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, like there's one thing that's been consistent with all the Rantcasts is that I will at least complain about my internet service provider at least once during each episode, because it just sucks that bad.
It's a tradition now. Like, you guys see how like choppy his like if I do this with my hand, it's smooth, but if Brandon, you see that ghosting you get there? That's because of his internet. His so trash bad. Upload speed can't handle pushing this, I guess. But I mean, it works. It works for this. The audio is usable at least, but you know, it's still going to be a thing. And another thing that I kind of want to point out is I've worn the same shirt in every single episode of the Rantcast. When I had a hoodie on, this was the shirt under it. And Brandon actually was wearing the same shirt in every episode except this one. So
yeah.
No.
I decided to switch it up. Hold on, I'll go change real quick. I'll just take
No, don't. I'll get flagged for like inappropriate content.
I'll do that.
In December of 2016, this was like right after I got the iMac and everything set up, me and Brandon were talking about how much the Mac Mini sucked. Or maybe it was something else, I don't remember, but it was something along the lines of something sucking. And then one of us had the idea of, hey, we should do like a podcast of this where we either live stream or record the episodes and upload them, just talking about stuff that either sucks or we have constant issues with. So we did. The first one wasn't really like complaining about anything, it was just talking about, you know, new Apple toys. But the third episode, which is legitimately just called Windows Sucks, that was the first episode where we pretty much just went all in.
Oh, gosh. Oh yeah. Oh, that was a fun one too, actually.
It was like, and Windows
We
still
actually
sucks.
had to do that one twice. We had to do that one twice, if I remember correctly. I think so. Like, didn't we like try filming that?
Here,
and then
I'm gonna look.
OBS corrupted it. I thought like OBS corrupted the original file.
OBS corrupted one of
we had to
them.
do it again. Yeah, I know it was one of them.
It was
think
one of them. I
Windows,
can't
though.
remember if it was the Windows one or a different one, but I do remember in one of them, Brandon had such a bad issue with his computer that we had to hold the episode for like 3 hours and then wait for him to fix his computer. I'm trying to find it right now so I can show you. I'm pretty sure it was actually was it the Windows Sucks episode? No, I think it was the
it might have been the one
guys?
after
Welcome
it.
to episode.
It would have been painfully ironic if it was the Windows Sucks one.
For real though, like I know it wasn't the Windows one because you were talking about that after we finished shooting the one it happened in. Oh yeah, it was this one. All right, so I'm gonna switch over to the main screen right now so you guys can just kind of watch this with us as it plays. So watch this.
Alright guys, sorry about that. So like Windows 10 sucks, Skype sucks, Audition sucks, basically everything failed me tonight. So I don't know if it...
So what happened there was, if you listen to the audio in the first part of this, I don't think Google realized the audio quality from the first half of that episode was actually from the microphone that you're hearing him off of right now, because he was trying to record in Adobe Audition. Audition crashed, corrupted the recording, and then something happened with Skype. I can't remember.
I think pretty much the whole computer just crashed.
It did.
at some point.
So again, comes out with I think it was actually a FaceTime call this time though, because it wasn't an internet related issue, but we did something. It was a FaceTime call. I remember because I couldn't get OBS to record FaceTime's audio because Apple has some like protection system put in that's pointless. Because if you try to record a FaceTime call on the iPhone, you can, but not on Mac. It's just not a thing. I don't know. I couldn't explain that one to you, but it doesn't really matter anyway because we got the rest of the episode recorded.
Yeah, we got it. We got it to work. It's not perfect, but that's just how it is, I guess.
It's the Rantcast, man. Nothing's gonna be perfect on this show ever.
And we always say this too, like anything that we complain about, it ends up biting us in the butt like later on.
Yeah, we talked about how bad Windows 10 was, and then I said that I didn't have any issues with the Creators Update, and then the next Creators Update bricked my PC. I had to reset it, reinstall Windows, and then reinstall every single application that I had. It sucked.
Oh, man.
It was actually this one right back here. Another thing about Windows, you guys haven't seen this yet because the video isn't up publicly at the time I'm live streaming this, but me, Cam, and Justin are in a gas station store, buying food, and there's this big, 75-inch TV above everything, in the back that said, recovery. It looks like Windows didn't load properly. And I was like, ooh,
that sucks.
That is why you get a Mac right there.
Actually, I remember one time I was at a McDonald's not too long ago. It was up in a town called Washington, Indiana, not too far away. And actually, I might have a picture somewhere on my phone. But right in the drive-thru, it said it had a blue screen. It's the funniest thing ever.
The drive-thru had a blue screen?
Yeah, the drive-thru had a blue screen.
Oh man, this wasn't even the blue screen. It was like the recovery prompt when your PC won't boot properly.
That's bad.
Oh man, I just don't like it. I don't like Windows. I used to think it was better than Mac, and then I bought a Mac, and I just haven't even looked back at Windows since then. I still have a PC back here. I pretty much just use it to upload big files overnight when I don't want to leave my iMac on, but it doesn't get used for.
Now Windows 7 is still the bomb. That's still a pretty good OS, but it's now getting outdated.
Yeah, you can't run a bunch of programs on it anymore. I can't say I had a laptop like a PC. I wouldn't be able to use the PS4 Remote Play on Windows 7 because it's only supported by 8.1 and newer. Not even normal Windows 8 will run it.
That's dumb.
So I mean, I don't know. I miss the Vista days. I know everyone hated Vista, but if you had a good enough machine to run it and a newer service pack of it, it was actually not that bad of an operating system.
Yeah. Once you got to like the later service packs, Vista was a pretty decent OS, really, if you think about it. I mean, it's pretty much like almost like 7 in a lot of ways. They visually look very, very similar. The taskbar is just a slight bit different.
That was when they introduced Windows Aero. Was Windows Vista? Because
they're bringing back Aero a little bit now on the newer version of Windows 10. They got a lot more transparency. It doesn't look as good as the old Windows Aero, but it's better than the transparency they tried on Windows 8, which looked dumb and bad.
I mean, Windows 8 just in general was so stupid. Like, if you're trying to run it on a like a PC setting, and it's this whole full screen start menu that like makes you want to touch your screen, even though it's not a touch screen to launch apps, and then you're like, oh wait, okay, and then before I think Windows 8.1 brought back the start button on the taskbar, but before that, your desktop would be an app inside of the app launcher.
Yeah, that was so dumb. That was so dumb.
I don't know why I don't know what they were thinking with that. It would have made sense for a tablet, I guess, but why would you buy a tablet that runs Windows? What's the point? Other than like a Surface Pro, which are expensive. I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I can never get it. I never could realize why they thought that was a good idea. Like, who of the higher ups like looked at that and like, oh my gosh, this will bring revolution, because it was just bad. Like, for a majority of the PC users out there, we're using a mouse to, do our thing and type and whatnot, and we don't use a touchscreen very often. I mean, I have like a few laptops that do have touchscreens in them, and I have one computer downstairs that has a touchscreen, and I barely use it.
Yeah, like it doesn't. So your laptop now has a touchscreen, right?
The laptop I have, my old laptop has a touchscreen, but the screen's broke. So it's
I remember he did talk about that in an older episode of the Rantcast as well. I can't really remember which one it was, but he talked about it.
Yeah, the hinge is broken, and right now it's just sitting on my desk. I disconnected the battery. I'm actually going to like put a screw in there and a washer to make sure that it was just a really poorly made laptop. It looked good, it ran good, it had an i7 in it, and the price point was about $500, 1 terabyte hard drive. It was decently spec'd. It was decently spec'd for 2014. It was a good laptop. Hardware-wise, but construction-wise, the chassis is just so cheap. It's got some metal in it, but the bottom part's plastic, and then the hinge in most laptops would be screwed to another metal piece because it's much more tougher, it's better reinforced. But this just screws into like a piece of very cheap plastic, and basically that cheap plastic broke, and now one of the hinges just wobbles back and forth. Let me see if I can actually show you real quick right now. But yeah, it just makes a weird cracky sound too, which I don't think the mic may not be able to see that or not, but
I can hear it a little bit.
Oh yeah, if you look back here, this camera may not be able to see it, but the hinge is broke so bad that the screen and the back part of this back part here and the screen are actually coming apart. So it's no bueno.
Yeah, really that doesn't sound very fun, bro. Like the screen issue reminds me of the old MacBooks. Like my black MacBook sitting over there, only half of the screen works unless I pinch like the side of it in just like the right way to get the video cable to be all the way like connected.
Oh
man. I mean, it sucks because I liked that MacBook, but like I can't even use it now because of that screen issue. And I know I could hook it up to an external screen, but I'm not about to go out and buy a mini DVI adapter so I can plug it into like a TV or something.
I hear. That's how I feel with this laptop. I actually like it, but it's,
I actually didn't know you got a new laptop even.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you about that later. But because I could try to spend an hour on this one.
It's probably not a MacBook, because he's a PC guy, but.
I'm a PC dude. I am planning on getting an iMac for downstairs because our HP is getting really old. And we kind of like all-in-one computers because it saves space. They look nice usually. And lately I've been
about
looking
the
at
iMac too. It's really quiet. Like,
oh yeah, and it
it's
just
really
looks so
hard
good.
to get the fan to spin all the way up in mine.
And I don't know if I mentioned this in the last Rantcast or in a Rantcast a while back or not, but I got an iMac, an older one, but for like $72 from my old school. And
you
it's
talked
really
about that
nice.
one time.
Yeah, it's a really nice little machine. So I thought about just getting a much newer one, and it's more streamlined. And since family uses it a lot, they'll probably like the Mac OS better than Windows. I have like pros and cons to both OSs. You know, obviously I talk a lot about the bad things about Windows, but you know,
there are
I
bad
like
things
both.
about Mac as well, but like
You know, it just
not
depends
as
on
bad
the
as
person,
Windows.
I guess. I am planning on getting an iMac for downstairs, so that'll be another topic we could talk about too.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever I do get it.
You should like switch to Final Cut if you actually get like a Mac for yourself. Like switch
yeah.
away
Yeah, I'd
from
like to try
Adobe, try out Final Cut because I like it. I like it better than Adobe. So
Oh, you know something I have been trying out lately. So I got a new job recently, and it deals a lot with video editing, but they use Avid, and Avid is like the worst video editor I've ever seen. It just makes things 10 times worse. Like a simple fade in, fade out is like 10 times harder to do on Avid for whatever reason. Like they found a way to make just simple, mundane edits hard, and it's so sad. That's another thing I could do on another Rantcast maybe in the future. But if you ever want to try Avid, don't do it unless you want to like lose your sanity. So yeah, there you go. Mini rants. Okay.
So
the Avid Media, it's just bad.
are you still using Sony Vegas or are you like all on Adobe now?
I'm using the two that I use here at home is Vegas and Adobe.
Yeah.
So yeah, Premiere and Vegas. And I like Premiere in a certain way.
Yeah, Premiere is great. Like I use it when there's like a shaky bit in a video that I need smoothed out because the Final Cut stabilizer just like it might as well not even be there because it doesn't do anything. But the warp stabilizer in Premiere actually works really well.
Oh man, it's so good. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it is with Vegas too. Like the stabilizer in Vegas sucks, but whenever I need something that needs to be stabilized, I just use Premieres. You can even do it in After Effects too if you want. But yeah, it's so
I found
good.
After Effects takes longer though. Like I'll only open up After Effects when I need to do like camera tracking or something like that. Because I actually have been using camera tracking a lot more in videos recently. Like the Colorado one, I motion tracked, or no, sorry, not motion tracked. It's camera tracking. I gotta get that right. You know, there's a difference. But camera tracked text onto like certain things that we were at, and it just looks nicer than having text on the screen, in my opinion. Depending on what it is, of course, but it's just better than having it. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks much better and just it gives it more production value. It looks cooler.
Yeah, it does. It's just a nice thing to be able to do, and I'm glad I can actually do it now because I tried doing it on the Mac Mini and it would just crash After Effects on the Mac Mini, but we should actually do a whole episode on the Mac Mini. I feel like.
Yeah, because that's how we got the idea. It was from the Mac Mini, and we never even done one on the Mac Mini. So that might be our next episode. There.
We'll do that. Yeah. Another thing though, guys, is Brandon was actually the last person I Skyped with on the Mac Mini. He pretty much here. I'm just moving OBS back to my main screen right now, but what happened was I was in a Skype call with him. I downloaded, I think it was macOS. It would have been Sierra because this was in October 2016. So I was downloading macOS Sierra, trying to upgrade it from Yosemite, and go over to that because El Capitan never installed. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll try my luck with Sierra. So when it finished downloading, I switched to Skype on my MacBook Air, which is down there under the iMac, but switched to Skype on that, and then installed Sierra on the Mac Mini, and then you know, it made progress from like, it went from 40 minutes down to 36, and then it just, nothing happened after 36. It stayed at 36 minutes for the next like 3 hours. So I was like, okay, that's done. So I hard shut off the Mac, and then it like wouldn't even boot. It just like stuck itself in a boot loop. So I was like, okay, cool stuff, man. So I unhooked the Mac Mini, like I tossed it back on my bed, and then like it just stayed there until I went to bed. Then the next day I went to the Apple store, had them do a hard, like, fresh install of Sierra, formatted the hard drive, installed Sierra, and then I sold it. I sold it for $900 and bought the iMac, which I think is, like, the best decision I've made in my life, because the iMac is just, like, it's just infinitely better. It was also, like, infinitely more expensive, but it was worth it, because, you know, you got the 5K screen.
I think it's a good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That 5K screen alone is
like that's why it's so expensive, because everyone's like, oh, you could have built a PC with the same specs for cheaper. And then I was like, okay, go ahead, find me a 5K display, I'll wait.
Well,
and
here's another thing too,
I'm
like,
still waiting because no one found one. Yeah, it is.
It's an all-in-one design too, so you know there's more engineering involved.
It's like it's thin enough to be a monitor on its own. Even like it bulges out at the back a little bit, but it's thinner than my Dell monitor to the right here. And it's a whole computer with 32 gigs of RAM and an i7 and a AMD graphics card instead of just a screen. So I don't know how they did it. It's Apple. They did it though. But that's like,
they're really good with design and keeping things thin. That's Apple's just big.
Like the iPhone 10 here. See that? Look at that. I think it's actually a little bit thicker than the 6 and the 6S, but it's an iPhone 10, and this thing is actually pretty heavy as well. I'll talk about that more a little bit later, but I got this on launch day, iPhone 10, 256 gigs silver, and it's kind of been the best phone I've ever had. The only thing I really miss is Touch ID, because Face ID kind of sucks a little bit when you're outside, like in the sun, but it's still good. Other than that, I like it. Brandon is, what are you, on the iPhone 6 still?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
High tech technology of the, what,
2014.
When did that come out? 2014?
But here's the thing, guys. That's the same phone he bought in 2014 or whatever year he bought it. That's just like a testament to how long iPhones last. Versus this pile of garbage right here, the Galaxy S7 Edge. This is actually my second one. It's got a cracked screen now. It's all slow and like trashy. I had the original S7 Edge for 8 months after I bought it, and then it did the pink line on the right side, and I was like, okay, that's not gonna go away. So I take it in, get it replaced, and it only takes a month for this one to start doing kind of the same issues that the original one was having. So I switched back to iPhone, and I've just been on that ever since, and I'm probably just gonna stay with it because it works.
That's a pretty important thing. As long as the phone works, you know, you're good to go.
I mean, it better work for how expensive it was. Like,
the only problem I think I have my 6. Well, I had to get a battery replaced, but that's pretty much with any phone after a while. I have like a little ghost or burn in, but it's not. As long as you don't have the screen on for a very, very long time, you won't really see that, and it goes away after a while. So.
That's ghosting. That, like, old LCD screens do that sometimes. I don't know how OLED ages, because I've never had a phone that, like, lasted long enough. I guess we'll find out with this one in a few years, because this is the first iPhone that has an OLED screen. But my Apple Watch, I actually bought it used, and it was bought when the first gen came out. I haven't found any, like, burn-in with it, but it's also a watch, so the screen's not on as much as, like, a phone. So we'll find out, I guess. We'll revisit this in like 2022. And be like, hey, you guys remember the iPhone 10? Yeah, this was a big thing back a couple years ago. Let's find out how the screen held up. So I guess we'll do that.
In 2022.
Yeah, 2022. 4 years. One episode I'm excited for that we're going to be releasing in September is the Apple September event, when they drop the new iPhones and Apple Watches and stuff.
Yeah, and I'll definitely be keeping an eye on that, because obviously, I mean, this phone's getting old. Like, Like,
You're in the market for a new phone
2014.
now.
So I'm in.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm in the market for a new phone. So it'd be interesting to see what Apple does, especially since after the iPhone X and everything, and just don't know what to expect.
I hope they make a 10 Plus, because my hands are big. You see that? This is just like too small. I can wrap my whole hand like around the thing. It's just too small of a phone. Like, I like it. It's just too small of a phone. So I'm hoping the iPhone 10 Plus is actually going to be a thing. And if they make it in 512 gigs, then oh baby, I will buy that.
Oh man,
512 gig iPhone.
Oh man, I wonder if they're going to get rid of the little notch or not. There's a lot of these Chinese knockoffs that have been trying to do that lately.
I know, like.
So I wonder if that's the next thing that we'll see the next iPhones, a notchless iPhone X.
It's not gonna happen this year, but eventually, like, once they figure out how to put all of the, like, if I hold it like this, you can actually see the infrared flood illuminator. Once they figure out how to get all of this under the screen, and that's a camera, an infrared camera, the dot projector, everything under the screen, then it'll pretty much just like be like this on the top if it'll turn on. There you go. Just like that all the way around. That would be dope. I would like that, but it's not going to happen for a few years here. But, you know, eventually it'll be
something to look forward to eventually, yeah. Oh my gosh.
All I know is everyone completely trashed the iPhone 10 for having a notch. They're like, it has a notch. Except the bottom of it. See how, like, it's the same size bezel on the bottom and the sides. Now, the Google Pixel 3 is going to have a notch and a chin. And nobody's complaining about that. No, because it's Google. Google gets a free pass on anything. It's the same thing that happened with the Pixel 2. Remember when the iPhone 7 came out and they dropped the headphone jack? Everyone just lost it. They were like, how am I going to live without a headphone jack? And then the Google Pixel 2 comes out without a headphone jack a year after trashing Apple for dropping the headphone jack, and no one says anything about it. No one.
I know, that's so dumb, ain't it?
It is. Like,
I think it's dumb both ways, because I like the headphone jack, but still.
I don't care about the headphone jack. Like, the only time I ever plugged anything into my phone was a microphone. And I don't have a dongle on hand right now, but just plug the dongle into the microphone, then into the phone. Everything else is just Bluetooth. Like, you got the AirPods, these are Bluetooth. The Beats Solos, they're Bluetooth. I don't miss the headphone jack. I like not having another port that can get, like, clogged up with dirt and stuff that I have to worry about. I don't know. I just hope they don't remove the lightning port anytime soon. Because then I'd be like, okay, now I have to bring a wireless charger with me everywhere I go. Cool. That's gonna suck. That would
the
suck.
Next iPhone. No ports whatsoever. We'll just do away with ports.
And then there's just like not gonna be a screen anymore. It'll just be like Siri runs the whole thing. Tries to describe episodes of South Park to you and you're watching them on Hulu. Just be like, hey Siri, open Hulu. She'll open it, and I'm actually surprised it didn't go off. I did that on purpose. Nothing happened. But regardless, I don't know. That would be funny though. Siri like explains. Cartman asks his mom for money, and then starts flipping out. Oh man.
Oh my gosh. So we got some new ideas for the next Rantcast when this next iPhone comes out. I mean,
for real, we're gonna be talking about that. Come back in September if you want to see that.
I know September will be an interesting thing. I can't
September's gonna be a fun month. It'll be a fun month for sure.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. You want to talk about anything else? Or you think we should just end it here? We've been going for like a half hour now.
I know.
It doesn't feel like a half hour.
That's how it is. That's how every Rantcast is. It's like it starts out. It's like, what do we talk about?
And then we just figure it out as we go.
And as we go, it just gets very comfortable and it gets very easy.
It's 80 degrees in my room now, so I don't think comfortable is like the right word for that, but
yeah, exactly.
It took a half hour to go up 7 degrees in this room. Just saying.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was like it was about 100 degrees in Evansville at work today. Went to the parking garage and they don't let us park in the lower levels. They only want us to park in the upper level, which is dumb.
That's cancerous.
So yeah, it's dumb. So I'm just gonna sneak to the lower level. Don't tell my employer, I guess. But even though they
Let's hope he's
they
not
go to
watching
lower
the stream.
level. Yeah, hopefully they're not watching this stream. But even they go park in the lower levels. I'm just gonna start doing that from now on, because whenever I go in the car, everything is just baked hot. And then here's the thing: when I roll the windows down so that way it gets cooler, that's when it decides to rain, and it's always bad. It's always a heavy rain as well. Like one time,
rains into your car.
It rained into my car. It got into my car seats, and then it baked the water, like, because it's like a leather car seat. It actually like made the seat rock hard. So I have to go sometime in the next month or so, I guess. I mean, it's not a real major problem or anything, but you know, I still got to get it. It made the seat rock hard. It's so bad.
That
It annoys me.
sucks.
It's gonna cost me a couple $100 to get that fixed too.
You should make your
And I'll
boss
be out of
like
for a couple days.
make your boss like compensate you for that. Be like, hey,
Yeah.
this wouldn't have happened
this
if you would let me park on lower levels. So
I
hit
know.
me with
This
that
happened about a
500.
couple weeks ago. This happened about a couple weeks ago at my other job, but still, it's so dumb. That's how bad my luck is. And then when I decide
just
that,
like-
I'm just gonna keep the windows up, it doesn't rain at all. So and I check the weather all the time. I'm a freaking siren enthusiast. I'm always looking at the weather and seeing if there's gonna be a storm or something.
But it changes. It's never like
It always changes. Yeah, there's always this pop-up storm that comes out of absolutely nowhere, and it'll rain. You know, I'm like, where's these storms at when I want them?
yeah.
Here in the
Honestly,
office,
though,
I go storm chasing, nothing forms. One time we're under a moderate risk. There's a good chance we're going to get a tornado and everything. I drove an hour away. I was going to intercept this supercell. I was so hyped up and so excited, and then the storm just like collapsed and fell apart, and I got nothing. But here, like, I just get these super heavy thunderstorms that come out of nowhere when I least expect them to, and then I get like rained in my car. So yeah,
And
that's just
like
that's how bad my life is.
that's what happened with us too. We were up in on the way to Wyoming. We stopped at Fort Collins, and I opened the 9 News weather radar on my iPhone just to see, and there was nothing. I just wanted to see if it was gonna rain, but the day after, this was the 4th of July now, I opened the same app and it's still in Wyoming, because or not Wyoming, but at the gas station in Fort Collins. Didn't update yet. I might actually have taken a screenshot of it. I don't know, but there's this giant storm right over the gas station where we were. And I was like, really? Come on.
Oh my gosh.
I like seeing storms. It's just entertaining to me, but you know, it sucks, but
sometimes you don't want it. Sometimes you don't want it, and you're not prepared for it.
I mean, I'm kind of glad it didn't rain, because then rain and fireworks kind of just like don't mix. So
Oh yeah, that's true.
that was fun. We're doing that again next
fun.
year, by the way. So get down here and come with us.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I will. I gotta make it down there this summer. Well, I don't know if we'll do it this summer. I think my parents want to go to Canada, so
Oh, Canada. That's like the opposite way of Colorado.
the exact opposite way of Colorado. Yeah, we're gonna go to Ontario, so yeah, all the way up in the opposite end of the continent, I guess.
Bro, you can meet the Canadian princess from South Park.
Oh yeah,
Princess of Canada.
yes. I'll meet the Princess of Canada.
Yeah,
I'll
bro.
do that.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
it's gonna be-
All right,
All
guys. I think that's where we're going to end this live stream off. As usual, if you enjoyed, like, comment, and subscribe. There's a card for Brandon's channel. Just hit that. Subscribe to him. Everything else, there will be an edited version of this on Monday going out. So there you go. That is going to be it for this live stream. Thank you for watching.